that you are not good enough. You start feeling guilty of your own inadequate body. What do? You go and buy their products and you use them. You automatically fall under their control. Once you use them, you are engulfed with one more feeling of guilt. Did I go into all this trouble for this after all? The moment you achieve something, the first feeling that engulfs you is guilt. Your fantasy and imagination keeps you immersed in an unproductive cycle of life. You create a solid cerebral layer with all the imagination collected. You may have seen it all in television, internet, books, and so on. You live mentally in this layer all the time. Even when you are in a relationship, you are relating with this layer. You are not relating with the actual wife or husband. The actual wife or husband becomes a poor substitute for the images in your mind. Your lust is then contaminated. When you indulge in this fashion, you are caught up in a vicious cycle, and that is why you don't go deep into it, and you come out of it, but keep coming back with more and more craving. If you go deep into it, you'll simply flower out of it. That is why in the earlier days, people were able to drop their lust at the age of 40. They never had such complicated images in them. They related directly with their husband or wife. That is why they flowered out of it at an early age. They were able to move deeper into lust and come out of it. Lust simply dropped from them. They did not have to drop it. In Indian marriages, there is a beautiful verse which the priests make the couple recite. The wife tells the husband, "Let you be my 11th son," and the husband tells the wife, "Let you be my 11th daughter." It means in the 11th year of marriage, they will look upon each other as a son or a daughter. The relationship would have undergone that much of a transformation by then. When you see your children, you are engulfed with so much of joy, is it not? Your relationship with your wife or husband would have undergone so much of a transformation that you will experience that same joy when you see him or her. The husband will become a son to the woman, and the wife will become a daughter to the man. When you don't have a clear understanding of your imagination, you suffer. Understanding is the key to get out of this. If you know how to live without suffering, you are leading a spiritual life. If you don't know how to avoid suffering, you are living a material life. There are only two kinds of life: life with understanding and life without understanding. Buddha life and a Buddhu life. You are confused about your desires and fantasies, and that is why you are not happy anywhere you are. When you sit on the floor on a mat, you are not happy because you are thinking of a chair. When you get to a chair, you are thinking of a throne. And when you get to a throne, you lose the capacity to enjoy it. Do you follow what I am trying to say? If your lust is pure, without any of the feelings of guilt or desire, you will go deep into it without any sort of guilt or imagination, and you will simply flower. It is only when your cerebral layer starts to function, you start bringing in your collected imagination and fantasy and fail to flower out of lust. Drop your cerebral layer and start feeling love towards your own body as well as the other's body. Bliss is happening continuously inside your body, but you are not allowing it to surface because you are caught up in your imagination. When you drop your imagination about your body and the other's body, the impurity in your lust is removed, and the first step in the alchemy process, that is removing the impurities, just happens. When you feel comfortable with your body, a certain grace happens to you. Understand, all skin diseases happen mostly because you have a certain hatred towards your body. They happen because you have a low self-esteem and disrespect for your own body. You don't understand this, and instead you go about finding a cure for the skin diseases. The root of it lies in your own cerebral layer that you have built over the years. You always look at another person's body and want to have a body like that, is it not? But when you love your body, when you feel comfortable with it, you will look and feel beautiful. In Ramayana, written by Tulsidas, it is said that when Sita walks into the court of Janaka, everyone, including the great sages and rishis like Vashishta and Sita's own father Janaka, stood up to pay respect to her. Such was the sublime grace that exuded from her. In Tantra, there is a technique wherein you wake up every morning and touch your body at every point with deep love and allow the subtle body to settle in the gross or physical body when you awake. Anyhow, the more images you have collected from outside, the thicker your cerebral layer is. In earlier days, people were not so complex and neurotic. They were simple. The cerebral layer did not exist, or it was there as a very thin layer. Once you drop your imagination about your own body and the other's body, you will be able to start showing compassion and friendliness towards the other's body. Friendliness is what you need to add in the alchemy process to transform lust to love. Remember, violence is not the way. We talk of violence in the society, in the state, in the country. What about it in our own homes and inside our own bodies and minds? I tell you, violence starts at home. You may say, Swamiji, but we are not violent in our day-to-day lives. I tell you, you only think you are friendly and not violent. What I mean by the word friendly is different from what you have in your mind for it. Observe yourself closely. When you walk on the street or in your own garden, you unconsciously pluck at leaves, trees, flowers. You kick stones around, pull at creepers, what not. These are all acts of violence. Just for once, walk into your garden and look closely at a flower or leaf with utmost awe and love in you. Feel the beauty of it in your heart and look at it lovingly. Connect to the wonders of existence through it. Handle it like it was a newborn child. And feel the emotions swelling up from deep inside you. Now think of the number of times you have unconsciously plucked at the same flower or leaf while you were walking near it and simply chucked it elsewhere. Do you understand the difference between the two emotions? Between the two attitudes? Now tell me, are you really being friendly towards everything and everyone around you? Look at everything with awareness. Now you are functioning from your unconscious, and so you are behaving in a violent fashion towards these things without even knowing that you are violent. If you look at them with awareness, you will see the immense beauty in them and you will treat them with love. And then, how much you abuse your own body. You overeat and cause disturbance to the beautiful digestive system functioning inside you. You stay up late in the night and torture your body when it is crying for rest. You smoke and drink despite knowing that it is not good for your body. Some even go to the extent of hating their body and therefore neglect it. So stop talking about the violence outside and start addressing the violence in you. automatically the outside violence will stop.